Gather on the TV set, folks. The Bruce Show is on the air. Juice Bruce, get loose. You know that you got the juice, oh yeah. Loose, get loose. You know that you got the juice. Juice Bruce is on the air. Juice Bruce Show's on the air. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another Bruce Show. We always like to get the Bruce Show started off with a good prayer. So, Lord, our Heavenly Father, we thank you for your many blessings. You are the greatest and the mightiest and the holiest ever in all the worlds and all the heavens and everywhere else. We admire everything about you. We'd humbly strive to do your work here on earth, Lord. And Lord, we'd ask you for good health. We'd ask you to protect our soldiers. We'd ask you to spare the lives of the people from the tragedy and disaster around the world. And we'd ask you to show people their common humanity, their common heart in life. And we'd ask for these things in the name of the Lord. Amen. All right. So here we are. We got it's Martin Luther King Day here, 2013. It's also a presidential inauguration day. They got the TV is all day long with Obama and them, Washington, having a party down there. So. But I didn't get invited, so looks hopeless, folks. Well, I'll tell you what happened. You know, Little Red the pickup truck, he wore out last year, like a year ago, a little over a year ago, a year and a month, you know, like past December a year ago. And so I got a new Little Red. I got a new Little Red pickup truck. And, you know, I'm trying to get used to him. He's trying to get used to me. He still makes me nervous sometimes, but I think I'm getting more reconciled. He had a radio, but the radio didn't work. Only the CD player worked. And I would listen to the CD go around and around many times, you know, before changing it. So that's not really the way I like to do it. So finally, well, I went up to the junkyard. I went up and saw my man Tom there, and he gave me a new radio. Now this one, it gets the radio. So I'm all set now. And then I had Walter. Walter got in the truck and drove someplace with me, and so he tuned it on to the country station, you know, which, you know, I mean, I don't know what you're going to listen to around here on the radio. I used to listen to maybe it was RNX, I'm not sure. I'm not even sure anymore. I think it was 100.9 on the dial. I think I'm still tuned to 100.9. Maybe not, I'm not sure, but it's on some country station. Now it's a country station. You know, I'll listen to the country sometimes for a while, and then when I get sick of those same songs all the time, I'll change it probably, but, you know, I haven't been listening to the radio or the country radio for a real long time, so I guess I haven't changed it yet. Still on the country station. They got a few new songs, but that's why I brought it up. I don't know. They got these songs now on the country station. I'm getting a little worried about them, you know. They're sounding a little, you know, I don't know, they're getting into desperation. They got one. I'm sorry about these songs, all right? I practiced a little bit a couple days ago, and I sort of had them when I was practicing, but I know they're not going to come out very good, probably. But have you heard their songs? They're going, Don, you're getting more social commentary on the country radio station now. I can't even figure it out. They got one, it's like, say, girls girl singing, and she's all kind of got a sad voice, you know. And she's like, Mama's hooked on Mary Kay, brother's hooked on Mary Jane, daddy's hooked on Mary two doors down. Mary, Mary, what contrary, out of hangs and gardens buried, daddy's in the Christmas town. Every time we get worried, we get tired of, we get harried, staying out in the moon till Sunday afternoon. That ain't even how it goes. I got Frankie and, not Frankie and Johnny, Pedro and Lefty. It's only a few songs, you know. They keep coming around. Ow. All the better, all they say. All the better, all they say. Could have had him any day. Only let him slip away out of kindness, I suppose. I don't mind you telling me about your struggle to be free. We're all people naturally, just hearing after all. And all the better, all they say, could have had them any day. Only let them slip away out of kindness, I suppose. And all the better, all they say, could have had them any day. Only let them slip away out of kindness, I suppose. This song, I don't even understand this song, you know. It's on the country station they got. It's all the same song, too. I know I probably didn't get all the words. I got a few of the words. I'm trying to figure out what they're supposed to mean. Oh, yeah. The chorus is something like, take off that leaving dress, let's go down, we do best. I'm gonna have to get my head right to figure that one out again, but maybe I'll turn off the camera at some point, you know. I have to go get another beer, maybe I got it going on in my head, I could get it back down on the guitar. Yeah, I'll give you something, just before we get done doing the Bruce show, we might as well sing part more of the Bruce song. It's just mighty, mighty Bruce from Amherst, Massachusetts, comes to get down and Alpha comes to get loose. Mighty, mighty Brucey from Amherst, Massachusetts, comes to get down and Alpha comes to get loosey. Just mighty, mighty Bruce from Amherst, Massachusetts, come to get down and Alpha come to get loose. Just mighty, mighty Bruce from Amherst, Massachusetts, comes to get down and I come to get loose. Mighty, mighty Bruce from Amherst, Massachusetts, comes to get down and I comes to get loose. Just mighty, mighty Bruce from Amherst, Massachusetts, come to get down and I come to get Send your dollars to Bruce. 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 Juice Bruce is on the air. Juice Bruce is on the air. Juice Bruce show beyond compare. I say Bruce show on the air. I say this mighty, mighty Bruce from Amherst, Massachusetts. Come to getting down and I will come to get a loser. Mighty, mighty Bruce from Amherst, Massachusetts. Come to getting down and I come to get a loser. Just a mighty, mighty Bruce from Amherst, Massachusetts. Come to getting down and I will come to get a loser. Mighty, mighty Bruce at the Amherst, Massachusetts. Come to getting down and I will come to get a loser. Just a mighty, mighty Bruce from Amherst, Massachusetts. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh well, I guess you have something to look forward to. Maybe I'll remember. Maybe. Maybe I'll remember. I think I'll put some new strings on that guitar too pretty soon someday. I think I got some new ones over here without even having to go buy some, so might as well do it. I always figured I'd do it, but those strings just don't break anymore, so maybe I got the magic set of guitar strings. You know, never break. Maybe I'd be crazy to change them. You know what I'm saying? All right, so I don't know. I was hoping we were being, you know, gonna go do something here. Gonna go do something on the Bruce Show, but I got the camera. It's Monday. I gotta bring it back tomorrow. So, you know, there's only a small chance that I'll go do something tomorrow before I bring the camera back, so might as well try to knock out another Bruce Show here. I'm always a little bit tentative about doing this, and then once I start doing it, then I end up, you know, blabbing for an hour without really thinking about it too much, so not that I don't think about what I say, I just mean, you know, I continue to blab without coming to an end. Oh yeah. So we got all day coverage here on all the TV cable channels, news channels at least, of inauguration. Right now, I think I got CNN on there. I got old Piers Morgan in a tuxedo. He's blathering at me incessantly. I'm telling you. This is what, Piers Morgan, this is what I was talking about when I said something about, you know, most of the time when I hear people with foreign accents trying to inform my opinion, I'm like, you know, well, if you don't like the way things are around here, why don't you go back to wherever the hell it is you came from and go bother those people? All right? Why don't you go elsewhere, buddy? Okay? Who asked you? Who asked you, Piers Morgan? Tell you what, why don't you go back to England and keep phone hacking? Huh? I'd just slide on that one. Huh? This gun debate, you know, I'd just soon leave it alone. You know what I'm saying? I'd just soon leave it alone because I don't really think there's any informing, you know, of the anti-gun people. You know, doesn't matter what you say to them. Doesn't matter what practical realities you point out to them. You know, they're not interested. They're not interested in having a discussion about reality, I guess. You know. So here we go. Here we go through this whole silly charade of people who know virtually nothing about firearms, debating how to regulate them. You know, how to restrict them. You know, here we go again with the assault weapons ban. Well, what are you banning? You're banning the pistol grip that goes onto a rifle and makes it look mean. You know, all pistol grips in the country better fear for their safety. It's just stupid. You know, I'm telling you, I don't think people know what they're talking about. Here. Just as a demonstration, just to make me demonstration points here. I got me rifle out here. Got a rifle out. This is my rifle. There are many others like it, but this one is mine. That's what they teach them in the service. It goes on from there. I don't know it. It's in Full Metal Jacket, right? The movie Full Metal Jacket about Vietnam. It was a good movie. You see, I got now this here rifle here, this is just a 22. This is just a 22 bolt action. See this thing here? This is the bolt action. It works like a bolt in a door, you know. You push it in there. See, you put the cartridge. Well, really, see, it has a clip. This is what they're talking about when they talk about a clip. All right? See, now this clip is curved because this is a rim fire cartridge and it has a little rim around the back of it. That's how it seats into the action here. And so one end of the cartridge is a little larger in diameter than the others, right? So one side has to be longer, curved. You know what I'm saying? So. This can hold 7 22 bullets, all right? It can hold 7 cartridges. Normally you don't push them all in there down to 7. Usually, this is like for target practice. See, that's why I got a 22. I used to have a 22 Magnum. 22 Magnum is the same size bullet, the same size projectile comes out of the barrel of the gun, but a 22 mag is Magnum caliber. It just has a longer casing. The shell itself, the brass part that comes back out of here after you shoot a round, that part's a little bit longer and it holds a little bit more powder. So the bullet has more velocity when it leaves. But this is just a 22. I got a 22 after a while because bullets, ammunition costs money. All right, so this is 100. That holds 122 rounds. All right, there's probably 65 in there or something. It's a little over halfway left. Now, these 22 bullets, I don't remember how much this cost, but it probably cost like about $5 or $6 or something for, you know, supposedly pretty good 22 bullets. So they're like, you know, say they're $6 or something for, let's say they're $5, so it'll be real easy to figure out. For 100 bullets, then that would be 10 bullets for 50 cents, right? So they'd only be 5 cents each. You could shoot all day. Is that right? That can't be right. 10 cents, yeah, that's right. If this held 100, well, the 22 mags, right? They came in a box. It held 50, and they cost $10. Or now it's more. Now it's more like $12. So 50 for $10. That makes them 20 cents each. Okay? So the difference between shooting those and shooting this is 15 cents a bullet. All right? This is the cheapest way you can shoot. All right? Shooting 22 long rifle is the cheapest. I think that must be the cheapest thing that you can shoot. This is mostly just for plinking, you know. If you were, you know, you could kill squirrels with a rifle like this. You could kill varmints, you know, groundhogs, that sort of thing. You know, if you hit a coyote in the right place, you would probably kill him. It wouldn't be, you know, it wouldn't really be sporting to take this, you know, to shoot a deer with or something, because you'd have to respect the animal that you're hunting, you know. And this would probably just make the animal go, you know, be sick and depleted, and, you know, the ravages of life would probably catch up to him, but you wouldn't. You know what I'm saying? It's not powerful enough. But, you know, this is my target rifle. See, I put this big scope up on here. This has got a this is a 24 power scope. You know, you can look at the target through this scope from 50 yards, and so it looks like what? It's 2 yards away, basically. You know, you can see a fly. You can try to shoot a fly from 50 yards if you want to. You know, since I had to put this big, you know, it has this big turret up, this big bell end on it here, so it had to get these pretty big rings on it here. These mounts stick up way up above the barrel. All right, so then I had to get this padding. I had to put padding on here, because before I had the padding, I was just kind of like trying to hold my head, you know, and look through the scope. And that's not good. You gotta have a firm, you know, never wavering perspective of how you're looking through this thing. But at any rate, you know, that's fun, you know. Go shoot pieces of paper with this thing. Shoot from like 50 yards at a small targets, you know. You can have games, you know. Me and my friend, you know, we'd have like a qualifying, you know. You had to shoot out certain points on the target in order to qualify, and then once you were qualified, we shoot for, you know, like at a bullseye, and give each circle of the bullseye a value, you know. And, you know, a perfect shot would have a high value, so one perfect shot would make up for a lot of near good shots, you know. But at any rate, that's how we used to do it. Or still do it. My friend kind of let his cows grow into where his shooting was, so. But we can still go to the club. We can go up to the rod and gun and shoot that gun. Well, here, I'll show you what these bullets look like. I'll show you how big these bullets are. Hopefully you can see. I have to use this light here. You see that? Those are 22s. 22 long rifle. So now, of course, you know, post Newtown tragedy, when liberals are all hysterical, now's their opportunity. Never let a good crisis slip away. So, like vultures descending upon the corpses, here they come. Time to try to take away gun rights again, I guess. And right away, going after the assault rifle, all right? The assault weapons. So, you know, like I say, the whole discussion is just basically misinformation, all right? It's unbelievable. You know, what this is, what a gun is, this is a force magnifier. Okay, it's a tool. It's a tool that projects and increases your power. It magnifies your power. Okay, if you're a farmer and you have some groundhogs, some woodchucks digging holes in your fences and stuff in your pastures could hurt your animals or whatever, well, you know, you have a hard time if you got to run over there with a baseball bat and try to bop them on the head because they're too quick for that. They're never going to get caught. But with this, you could be behind the tractor 50 yards away and boop, Mr. Woodchuck's had a very bad day. All right? That's why it's a force magnet, you know, it magnifies your force. It's a tool. All right? Now, there's all kinds of guns. You know, there's all kinds of, you know, uses for them in terms of, you know, that's basically a target rifle for me. You could use it, like I say, for shooting varmints or something. You know, you have shotguns. Shotguns to be used for target, clay pigeons, or skeet and trap and that sort of thing. Or, you know, they can be used for pheasants and ducks and turkeys. In Massachusetts, there's no rifle season with deer. There's no taking your AK-47 out in the woods and shooting deer with it or anything, because they only have a shotgun and black powder season here in Massachusetts. In Vermont, they have a rifle season. You can hunt deer with a big woods deer rifle up there. But you know, what an AR-15, you know, an assault style rifle. Some guy, you know, some people tell you there's no such thing as an assault rifle or an assault gun or something. And my buddy Walter tells me that's not true. That the Nazis invented, maybe it was the first, you know, gun of this style, you would say. Maybe it was a prototype that others have followed or something, but they did name it an assault rifle. I don't think it ever went into production for them. It was near the end of the war or whatever, but you know, they had something that they called an assault rifle. You know, all these other more modern guns, they don't define them as assault weapons, you know. That's an assignment that's been given to them by other people. So, you know, that's where that debate is about whether there's such a thing as an assault weapon or not. But at any rate, we know what we're talking about, right? Basically, ARs, you know, the M16, you know, kind of action, right? There's an upper and a lower part of the receiver, apparently. It's a semi-automatic. You know, they make these ARs in lots of different calibers. You know, it's a pretty big business, really. You know, guys get all into this, you know. You know, that's one of the things that the non-gun owning public, you know, probably isn't aware of. You know, they're like, what do you need these things for? You know, they're only good for military use, blah, blah, blah. But, you know, guns are like a lot of other things, you know. I mean, for some people, you know, they'd be perfectly content to drive around in a you know, 1975 Dodge Dart, you know, perfectly reliable and economical and safe machine, you know. But other people want, you know, they want the peak of technology. They want the thing that's the latest in design, the latest in gadgetry, you know, that has the most little things about it that you can tinker with or play with or whatever your thing, you know. And it's like that with this too, you know. Some guys want to drive around in a 72 Chevelle, and, you know, other guys, they got to have a new Corvette or something, you know. But the M16, you know, the military version that was the development and the prototype of all these types of weapons, well, not all of them. There's, you know, AKs fall under the same banner of assault weapons, right? And those are Russian, you know, the communist standard, you know, combat rifle. You know, like I say, they come in ARs, M16s, derivatives, or, you know, descendants, come in all sorts of calibers. You can get them in a big game caliber, you know, but that's not really what they were intended for, you know. the military use, what they were designed with in mind was basically weight. You know, the military already used a semi-automatic firearm, a semi-automatic rifle. You know, they had an M1 and an M1 carbine in the Second World War. All right, they already used a semi-automatic. All right, the military M16s can be fully automatic, you know, which means they're a machine gun essentially. You pull the trigger, bullets continuously come out of there very rapidly, you know. You know what a machine gun does. All right? That's illegal for civilian purchase. You know, you have to have a special license to get involved with machine guns, like the fellow up in Pelham had there. All right? But these were designed, you know, for war essentially, and for the mission. You know, the concept is the lightest weight firearm that you can produce, that produces the most firepower, that's ammunition is also the lightest, so that you can carry the most of it, so that you got more bullets and thereby more firepower in that manner as well. All right, it's mostly about weight. That's what the M16 or the ARs are about. They, like I was showing you with bullets, right? You know, I got some 270 ammunition. Right, that's a 30-06 caliber. That's a larger caliber. It's much larger than what your ARs shoot. They shoot the 223 or the NATO version. It's like 5.64 something. You know, it's in metric equivalents or whatever. All right. The bullets are, you know, say my a 270 bullet is like that big. A 223 would be, you know, it's much smaller cartridge, at least like a half an inch shorter, and the you know, considerably smaller in diameter, and then the diameter of the bullet itself, just about exactly the same diameter bullet as this 22 bullet that I already showed you. All right, the caliber, like 22, that's 22 1/100ths of an inch. So that's how big the width, the diameter of the bullet is. All right. 223, same thing. 2.23 or 2.223 of an inch. So an AR bullet, you know, an assault weapon bullet, is actually a much lower caliber than like a typical hunting rifle. All right? I was reading some article in the paper. The woman says they're the most deadly weapons that are out there. No, they're not. There's plenty of weapons that are, you know, if they hit you with their bullet, would be much more deadly than an AR bullet. I have been told that the only way the military could opt for a caliber that small is that somehow they've, like a typical bullet travels like a football. It spirals. So does a 223, an assault weapon bullet. But apparently it's a little bit imbalanced, or when it hits a target, it tumbles instead of penetrating, boring straight through. That's what I've been told. I'm not sure of those facts. But in that regard, it could be somewhat deadlier than a you know, some other rifled bullet hitting you, I suppose. But it's not as deadly as a, you know, a 30-06 bullet hitting you with substantially more weight, size, mass. Possibly greater velocity. Well, the AR, the M16, the assault weapon thing is a compromise. It's a compromise between all the things that the military wants, right? The military wants a long-range rifle that they can use to shoot people from a long distance away. They want a rapid action rifle so that if they're in close combat, they can draw upon lots of rounds, right? And like I said before, Beyond reliability and making sure it doesn't break down or will keep working in all conditions. It's the weight. It's carrying that through the desert or through the rice paddies or wherever the hell you got to carry it, along with 200 rounds or whatever, 500. I don't know how many rounds they make them carry. You know, but bullets are heavy. All right, if you had a full clip, if you had to say a 10-round clip or 20-round clip of like 30 odd six bullets, probably weighs 5 pounds. 100 weighs 25 pounds. You know, you're gonna carry 50. You're gonna carry 200 rounds of bullets around. Could be 50 pounds you're lugging, along with everything else you already got to lug. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's the big improvement on them, or that's what they were designed for, and that's the niche they fill. Now a lot of guys that want to go out and buy one of these things, I don't know, maybe they have fantasies about how cool it is or what. They are fun. I've heard they're a lot of fun. I've never actually shot one, but you know, rifles are fun. Target practicing is fun. It's fun when you can shoot more easily, I suppose. People tell me it's fun. They tell me it doesn't kick very much. That's another consideration with a rifle. This 22 here, this is the lightest form of shooting you can do. Okay, this just goes pop, and that's about it. All right, it doesn't even really kick in the shoulder or anything at all. A shotgun or a heavy caliber rifle, it'll give you a good kick, right? And that recoil, that's the main obstacle to accuracy for people shooting a weapon. You know, Even if you're good at it, if you keep doing it, you keep getting hit with that recoil, you know, you start to flinch. It's just human nature. It's a loud percussion. Guys that are in the military they get past it and stuff. But a gun that doesn't have a really violent recoil to it is also a big advantage. All right, so there's a lot of good reasons for ARs. These what you call assault weapons. The other thing you got to remember is, they're not going to do this on a national level, okay? Because the Democrats in the Senate even, they're not going to vote for it. Harry Reid can't vote for an assault weapon ban, all right? Or he won't be coming back anymore, and he knows it. But New York, New York and their hystericals, they've already done their, what, a week or something, and they're going to pass sweeping gun law reforms, whatever, New York. And Mass will probably do it too. Deval Patrick's right. His petticoats are pretty close to Cuomo's and Obama's too, aren't they? So, they'll probably try to do something here in Mass. We'll see. Maybe they'll get something. Maybe they won't. There's a lot. Massachusetts, despite being liberal haven or whatever, still has a lot of people that are, invested in gun rights and stuff. As well as you should realize how much manufacturing, in this area, right here in this local area, how much, rifle and gun manufacturing goes on. We got Smith & Wesson down in Springfield. This here is Savage Arms. See my Accu-Trigger down there? See, when you shoot this, you pull this part in first, and then it'll click the shot off. But this is actually, I thought I was going to get something made in Westfield, because Savage has a factory in Westfield. But this is from Canada. But it says right there, imported by Savage Arms, Westfield, Massachusetts. All the big gun companies were from around here. Colt's down in Hartford. I don't know, Remington was someplace. Winchester was in New Haven. This part of this country made big strides during the Industrial Revolution in machining and tooling tool manufacturing, and those manufacturing processes culminated in us being the best rifle and gun factories, and well, there's other places that build good guns too, but America builds some good guns right around here. Are you gonna, if you're gonna outlaw assault weapons for purchase or whatever in Massachusetts here, are you gonna outlaw assault weapons manufactured in Massachusetts here, or components? Because there's a huge aftermarket. That's what I was talking about with the technology. Guys don't, maybe somebody's going to go take a gun like this and do alterations to it and try to customize it and make it more accurate, or, work one little bit better somehow. I mean, I'm not going to. But I guess there's people that really want to tinker with these ARs and stuff, and try to improve them. That's where the sort of innovation and technology is in the gun market and stuff. And there's all kinds of little shops that do special work on them and stuff, special whatever they do to them, try to make them more accurate, different things they can put on them and stuff. So, but like I say, all these people running around screaming hysterically. Listen, everybody knows it's a tragedy when innocent children get killed. At least I hope they do, But I'm telling you, sometimes when I'm doing my prayers, I pray the Lord can show us our common understanding, He can show us our common humanity, and I swear to God, I don't think if He slapped you in the face with it, you'd recognize it. Because it's pitiful. It's shameful is what it is. It's pitiful and shameful that the same people that want to go around, just desecrating the Constitution of the United States, continuously, trying to wear out our constitutional rights, and now they're standing on the soapbox of dead babies. Now they're crying crocodile tears and reading the names of children, and saying, "Oh, we've got to do things. We've got to take the situation in hand. We've got to sacrifice our rights so that we don't have these kind of tragedies. We have to do it for these young innocents, these children that had no chance, who didn't get to grow up." And I guess it just doesn't even ever occur to them, right? That those 20 children down there in Newtown, Connecticut, they'd only represent 1/50,000th of all the babies that are killed by abortion, right? I don't talk about abortion. I never did up until the show that came out just before Newtown, right? And there you have it. I talked about it. 20 times 50,000, that's 1 million. That's how many babies are killed in America every year. That's the work of your Planned Parenthood. That's what you decided that is, tantamount to your existence here on earth. One of your rights. Okay? And I guess the irony, the hypocrisy, of standing there and crying tears for the 20 dead children in Connecticut while you're wading up to your neck in the blood of 1 million dead fetuses never even crosses their minds. Never. There's a day of reckoning for that. There's a day of judgment. And I told you, the wages of sin is death. Okay, so when you go to be judged, don't have no excuses. And let me say something else about the gun control debate, too. Because I'm just about tired of insipid little spineless winks like Joe Scarborough who say they support our Constitution, who say that they support the Second Amendment and the Bill of Rights only ever so freaking anxious to give them away, you know, seeing if they can seek appeasement, see if they can seek a little affection from their liberal masters down there in New York City. Maybe you've been hanging around with those people for too long, Joe. I don't know what your problem is, okay? But I don't even want to hear about your phony debate, okay? These little concepts coming out of people like you and Colin Powell's mouth that, oh, these are military weapons and they were designed for the military and they have no business being in civilian hands. Well, you know, that's what the Constitution was about. Okay, if you don't believe in it, then just, you know, take your ass to Australia or wherever the hell you want to go. Go to Mexico, see how they treat you down there. All right? But stop with your blithering around here. You can go with Piers. Go with Piers Morgan. Don't tell me about, you know, rational compromise. That's a lot of bullshit. All they're trying to do with this ban on assault weapons is to legitimize the concept, you know, that it's this gun. It's this gun that's evil. Okay? If we get rid of this gun, then we won't have problems like this anymore. And everybody or anybody who's got any intelligence at all should know that's just a red herring. Total bullshit. All right? They already had an assault weapons ban. It didn't change anything in terms of violent crime. Violent crime has actually fallen, you know, since a lot of these gun laws were repealed and stuff. Since right to carry became more prevalent, there's been a drop-off in crime rates. With increased gun ownership in the home has come a drop-off in crime rates. You know? Telling you. You don't think you're going to appease these people. They just coming after all they can get. This time it's assault weapons. You know, the next atrocity happens with a semi-automatic shotgun. Well, then it'll be shotguns or semi-automatic shotguns. You know, the next time it's a pump action. Well, those are too dangerous too. You know, I mean, it's just obvious. The only smart thing I ever heard that coming out of Schumer's mouth practically was when this thing started off. He said, the first thing we have to do is to assure the gun-owning people, the gun rights people, that we are not coming after their guns, okay? That we accept the Second Amendment and we reaffirm your right to keep and bear arms. Okay, and that was the last you ever heard of any sensible thing coming out of the Democrats like that. Then they immediately went back to their old, you know, oh, you don't need these things. We're going to take them away, you know? Telling you, it's funny how things work sometimes, you know? Funny how things work sometimes, you know? They've skated, the Obama administration here has skated past, look at Fast and Furious. You don't like gun proliferation? Well, why did you give 2,500 of them to the Mexican drug cartels? You know, that's the most serious gun crime that you can commit. I don't mean like, you know, you use a gun and kill somebody. But in terms of buying guns and selling guns and providing guns for people, that's illegal. Straw sales or, you know, selling guns to a third party like this, knowingly doing so, that's like the biggest federal gun crime. Okay, that's the biggest one. You know, it's like if you were a drug dealer, all right, it wouldn't be possession. It wouldn't be in possession with intent to distribute. It'd be like trafficking or whatever the top thing is, conspiracy to traffic or something. I don't know. But it'd be the big nut, you know? And they did it. 2,500 guns. You hate guns so much, why would you put 2,500 of them in the hands of criminals in Mexico? And then you don't want to talk about it. Then you want to stonewall Congress. Oh, then you didn't do anything wrong. Oh, then the liberal press. I've even heard people tell me, oh, this was a Bush administration policy. That goes back to Bush. Obama didn't even know anything about, oh, sure. You know, I guess you believe whatever the hell you want, I guess. That's probably why the Obama administration isn't releasing any of their records to the Congress, right? You know, they've had, what, at least 3 or 4 incidents so far that are all basically major scandals. You got the stimulus. This is pretty much on the same level as Teapot Dome. This is giving kickbacks to your contributors, you know, or sweet inside deals to your people. Same thing as Teapot Dome. You had Fast and Furious, like I said, just a blatant disregard of all laws relating to, you know, guns and violence and common sense and a respect for the law. And then you cover that one up, you know, with Watergate and Nixon. They say it wasn't the crime. It was just a bungled, stupid, you know, high school prank, essentially, that started it off with the Watergate burglary. It was the cover-up. It was the 18 minutes of missing tape. You know? Nixon went down for that. You know? What, they had Clinton up there. Clinton skated on all the Whitewater things. Clinton skated on his lawyer committing suicide and Hillary Clinton cleaning out his office before anybody could see what was going on, right? Skated on all of that. And then they getting Billy for stain on the blue dress. I think it's stain on the blue dress, as I recall. That's an impeachable offense? Stain on a blue dress? Obama had Fast and Furious. You had the corruption of the stimulus. You had the Benghazi thing. The Benghazi thing's just like the release of classified information about Osama bin Laden raid and etc. You know, cover-ups to Congress. They investigated Bush for years. They finally convicted Scooter Libby, lying to Congress, right? So, you know, all these big events go by and they skate. And then it's some stupid thing, you know, some stupid thing. Maybe this is Obama's Waterloo. Maybe it's this one, you know. Maybe he's going to turn the American people against him, you know. The bulk of the American people are going to be like, wait a minute, you trying to take our guns? You know, you're probably saying, oh, he's not really trying to take your guns. Well, sometimes, you know, it doesn't matter what the reality of the situation is. Sometimes it's the perception of the situation. You know, I got a friend. He asked me who I voted for. I said, well, I voted for Romney. Because I'm like not one of these people that makes it a matter of national security, you know. If he had watched my TV show, he probably would have known who I voted for. And he wouldn't have had to ask me. But he did ask me, and I told him. And then he goes like, oh, you voted for the rapist? And I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, isn't that what they said? That, you know, you commit rape and nothing would happen or something? And I'm like, oh, jeez. I don't even want to have to try to straighten out all of that shit. You know what I'm saying? I can't even begin to straighten out all of that. But that's what my friend gained, you know, as a perspective on the past election, you know, through his interaction with the media. You know, so media, you should be proud of that. The liberal media should be proud of that, you know, that you've got a public and you've kept them misinformed to the point where that was their perception of the election. The rapist party. You know? Whatever. What was the other thing I was going to say about that? All right, hold on a second. I'm going to check the time and see what time I got on this thing. All right, hold on. All right, folks, I'm glad I checked the time because we're running out of time. You see, I told you I can just talk through a whole hour. It's unbelievable. And I guess I remember at least one thing that I was meaning to say that I think I forgot. And that was like with your insipid little appeasers, like Joey Scarborough. You know what I'm saying? What you ought to realize, Joey, is that it doesn't matter how much you appease these people, okay? They don't think like, you know, you supposedly think or thunk before you, you know, drank too much of that New York air or whatever. They're never going to agree with any part of what you say. About Schumer there, saying that he He knows that the liberals need to accept that the Second Amendment is part of the Bill of Rights and part of our culture. They're not going to do it. They'll never do it. Have you seen them doing it during this recent gun debate, aside from Schumer saying that? No, not at all. So all of it is finding appeasers like you who will give them one little chunk, you know? Oh, we'll give you assault weapons if you'll let us keep something, you know? No, we won't. You ain't gonna get nothing. You know, and I don't see any point of 30-round clips. I think you could draw the line at 10-round clips. I don't care. I don't have an AR anyways. I got a 7-round 22 in my clip, you know. But at this point, you know, because you don't deal with people in good faith, because you lie and cheat and scheme, and you come down like bloodthirsty vampires on the corpses of babies and everything, nothing for you. Nothing. Nothing. All right, like I was saying, we're running out of time. That's what Big Jim told me to do anyways. He said, put the songs in the beginning of the show and then put a song at the end of the show. And then you'll have to watch the whole show to see the next song. How? That country station is getting a little bit scary, man. I'm telling you. I'm hoping that this is like the, you know, when I probably got the words wrong anyways. You're probably afraid to say it like this, but, you know, when the word says die, you know, I'm thinking maybe that's in the Spencerian, you know? That's probably in the Spencerian form of the word, you know? Take off that leaving dress, let's take off that leaving dress, let's do what we do best. Lay down and love me like you love me when you love me. You didn't have to try. Let's lay down and die and kiss tomorrow goodbye. Probably a George Strait song. Take off that leaving dress, take off that leaving dress, let's do what we do best. Lay down and love me like you love me when you love me, and you didn't have to try. Let's lay down and die and kiss tomorrow goodbye. Hold my hand, say, take off that leaving dress, let's do what we do best. Lay down and love me like you love me when you love me, and you didn't have to try. Let's lay down and die and kiss tomorrow goodbye. Hold on tight. Hold on tight. Let's do this living now. Thanks for being with me on another Bruce Show, folks. And we'll get back to it again pretty soon, all right? Later. Together on the TV set, folks. The Bruce Show is on the air. Choose